not have been the best of visuals on your screen, but it was an important part of visuals, the CCTV that we referred to earlier. And it was important because it just reflected how crucial was what this army that is called was to Bhole Baba and his empire. In fact, he has an empire of his own. His devotees, mostly women, have absolute, unshakable faith in their God. That's him, Bhole Baba, on your screens. Or Narayan Sakar Hari, or Suraj Pal. In fact, a senior police official told the media, and this is on record, the devotees wanted to touch the dust of his carcade. But not all's well.
बेटा तुम पूछ रहे हैं तो ये नारायण सागर हरि परमात्मा ने और जी दुनिया तो जलन देते कछू का है और ना परमात्मा ने बंदूक चलाई ना रिवाल्वर ने चलाई सो मारे भी हुए अपने अपने कर्म से हम मरते हैं।
एक्सीडेंट है कहीं पे भी हो जाता है धक्का मुक्की में हो गया तो एक्सीडेंट है कहीं पे भी हो सकता है बीच सड़क पे भी हो जाता है बसें की बसें उड़ जाती हैं तो उसमें जिम्मेदार कौन है? अमरनाथ यात्रा में बसें उड़ती हैं तो उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? परमात्मा वहाँ से चले गए उसके बाद में ये धक्का मुक्की में हो गया आपस में संगत में हो गया धक्का मुक्की। अब किसने किया ये हम नहीं जानते क्योंकि मैं तो गई भी नहीं थी उस दिन।
ये इन्हीं की भक्त थी। कोई आई हुई है तो वो रोड पे या फिर कहीं गांव में है तो उनमें पीटना उनको डंडे देना भगाना। कई बार हमारे घर पे भी लेडीज पहुंची हैं रोते हुए कई बार हमने भी उनको बचाने की कोशिश की है तो हमसे भी झगड़ा। कुछ लोग भक्त हैं ज़्यादातर यहाँ पे मतलब गांव वाले तो इनके खिलाफ ही थे।
So, I mean, look at the reactions. These are people from the ground who have been in and around Baba Bhole. While you heard the women say that how could he have done anything wrong, they have referred to him as Paramatma, that's their faith. You have a man who's spoken and he's saying women were beaten. Stark reactions, very contrary reactions, nonetheless, that's the reality on the ground. Top leaders across the party lines have condemned and promised action against the organizers of the satsang where the stampede happened. But Bhole Baba, or any version of his names, has not been mentioned. Or these leaders have not asked for him to be questioned even. The core of Bhole Baba and his followers are a crucial vote bank. Bulk of them women and bulk of them scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Yogi Adityanath made references to alleged Bhole Baba Akhilesh links amid viral photographs and videos. But it's not just one line of association. Three-time BJP MLA Mahesh Gupta organized samagams for Bhole Baba, and this is on record again. And yet, this is not the only case. Remember, Asaram Bapu 2018, convicted for raping a 16-year-old girl? Girl raped at an ashram in Jodhpur, sentenced to life imprisonment, and trial in another rape case in Gujarat as well. Several influential disciples, including politicians, businessmen, heavy influence, heavy vote bank, gatherings held at his ashrams, faces serious charges, secured bail, parole, multiple times. Some may argue that's their right. Followers are a crucial vote bank. And then there is Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh. 2017, convicted for raping 2 women followers, serving a 20-year prison sentence. 2019, sentenced to life term for a journalist's murder. 2021, another life term for murder of an employee. He wields significant influence in Haryana and Punjab. Close ties with BJP in Haryana. In fact, he went on to even openly endorse BJP in Haryana during the Lok Sabha polls. He's got several payrolls, several payrolls. Some have even questioned the number of payrolls, while his followers argue that it's his right to get those payrolls. There are others who have argued that these payrolls are not like how other ordinary people would get. Even the court has gone ahead and said, now if you have to give him any further parole, you have to come to us and get our sanction. A huge Dalit vote bank influencer. VIP treatment in jail was visible for everybody, reported en masse. I'm being joined by Yuvraj Pokharna, who's a columnist, Acharya Vikramaditya, who's a spiritual guru, Ghanshyam Tiwari from the Samajwadi Party, Advocate Kapil Madan, who's a political analyst, and PK Jain, a former additional DGP from Maharashtra. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Mr. PK Jain, if I may come to you first. How much of a nexus of political patronage, faith, does affect criminal proceedings or political action or political inaction against Godmen, or as some may call, so-called self-proclaimed Godmen?
Sneha, thank you very much for inviting me to the show. This is the fact. I was listening to the commentary that you were making earlier. You have also heard some of the devotees and followers of especially the Sakar Hari Baba. You know, this is the kind of faith, this is the kind of influence the so-called Godmen have on their followers, that all political parties quote them, bow before them. They want their votes. They want the votes of their followers. So that's what exactly has been happening. You mentioned about Baba Ram Rahim. He was granted parole for 91 days in 2022, 91 days again in 2023. Again, 50 days parole was granted in February 2024. That's when the High Court stepped in and they said that no further parole without the High Court's order. Unfortunately, in this country, we have a long list of such Babas. We start with Bhindra Wale. I have a long list prepared, preparing for this particular debate. Bhindra Wale, Baba Ram Rahim Singh, Asaram Bapu, Sakar Bhole Baba, Kripalu Maharaj. Then there was Ajmer rape case accused who were the Chishtis. They were again religious leaders. The then government of the time did not prosecute them to the extent they ought to have been prosecuted, again for the vote bank politics. Then you have Sant Nirankaris, you have Satpal Baba in Haryana. All these people, what they have done is they have spread a cult of violence. They have spread a cult of immorality. The kind of followers that you see on the screen and that you see in real life makes them what they are. And they start owning their followers. Then they want to do whatever they want. Their word has to be the word of God, the alleged God. That's why they want to rape women. They want to use them the way they want to. And they build an aura around them. All of them invariably would also be having their private armies. Talk of Ram Rahim, talk of Satpal, talk of this Baba, the one who's caused this massive mayhem at Hathras. All of them have got their private armies. Now, there's the time has come, in fact, if I may say so, that there has to be a rogue gallery of Babas also. There must be a rogue gallery of Babas, not of goons alone. And they will not be very far. You have seen a degeneration in the politics over a period of time. There was a time when the goons were being used, or mafia was being used by politicians to get elected. Then the mafia started thinking that if they are the kingmakers, why not become kings? So you have a number of goons who have entered politics, who have got elected, who have reached the Vidhan Sabhas and Lok Sabha, etc. And now the time is when all these Babas
very
will
quickly,
also start
and I have a lot
political.
of questions to ask you. I frankly have a lot of questions to ask you, but I have to go to the other panelists. Let me just ask you one second question. I'll give you a minute before I go to the other panelists as well. You spoke a lot about faith. You spoke a lot about politicians, but the question is, why does police need to buckle to political patronage? They have a job cut out for themselves. Politicians have a job cut out for themselves.
Sneha, life is what it is. Not that everybody buckles down under the political pressure, but a lot of people do buckle under the political pressure. The system has become like this. Anybody who wants to stand in front of the political bosses runs the risk of inconsequential postings, a lot of hardships, suspensions, false inquiries, and things like that. That is why eventually people start making adjustments.
Mr.
People
Jain,
start, conforming to the rules or the whims and fancies of the political
Mr.
bosses
Jain,
and their seniors. It is not.
Would you say after the stampede of the level that did happen, questioning Bhole Baba, I've not even gone to the point of arresting. I'm asking, questioning Bhole Baba is important. Would you say that is right or wrong?
I'm absolutely in agreement with you. Bhole Baba should have been questioned. If necessary, he should have been named in the FIR. In fact, the FIR has been registered after a little delay. The FIR was registered. He should have been made an accused, but now he's on the run. He will come a few days later. I mean, he cannot be on the run for a long time. He will be eventually caught. He'll be questioned. But the fact is that he could have been named because he was there on the spot. He could have prevented the stampede, but he did nothing. He actually ran away from the spot. So the main organizers, the main Sevadar, whom they have made the main accused number one, and the people who organized the entire satsang, they should all be made accused, including this Baba. He should at least be questioned as an accused, not as a witness. And that's how the law and inquiry and the investigation should have proceeded, or should proceed even now.
Right.
Sneha.
Okay. Acharya Vikramaditya, if I can have you in. You've heard Mr. P.K. Jain speak. Sir, my two questions to you. Whether it be in Bhole Baba's case, where the police have gone on record to say that the police was not allowed inside. It was his so-called army that was responsible, and it was the private organizers that were responsible. I mean, why would a Paramatma require an army? But that's just one person, and as I said, this show is not about one person alone. You've had records where, even in Ram Rahim's case, inside the Dera, police was not allowed. Even when it was required, it was not allowed. How is this being allowed? How does this work without political patronage? Is the political patronage the key to everything, sir? Mr. Acharya Vikramaditya.
Firstly, we have to understand this thing. This is not happening not only in India. You can go outside the India and see these kinds of things happening everywhere. You might remember there was one case in Japan. There was one person who proclaimed himself as a god over there. And in Japan, this was an incident somewhere in 80s. And that happened, the government has to involve a huge power in that to get him eradicated. This is happening everywhere. If you go in Germany, I went to Germany some years back, and over there also the people were doing things of their own. So you can't consider this thing. This is a world level, everywhere this phenomena is going on. Some people are proclaiming themselves as a god, and they are making their followers. Now, what we have to understand, we have to make the people educated what the reality is about. There's nothing in the world that is called a miracle. We have to make them understand. Now, what is happening basically, we are giving some education in the schools, in the universities, but we are not educating them spiritually. Everyone, not only in India, everywhere in the world, people are just
Mr.
looking for the
Acharya
miracles.
Vikramaditya, Mr. Acharya Vikramaditya, I mean, very honestly, I don't care what's happening abroad, but the fact remains, this happens abroad as well, whether it be in US, in Japan, or even in European countries, it does happen. It is a reality, it happens, and it does not happen only in the religion of Hinduism, it also happens in other religions. So it's right there, out there for everybody, but nonetheless, what we are talking about is India right now, and what we are talking is about what is before us. So I would like to hear your views on beyond just education. Of course, education is very important, but how do you educate people who call somebody God? What level of education do we give? And if you are not allied with any organization, where is the regulation coming from? You have huge number of followers. You are known as God. So whom are you trying to educate then, Mr. Acharya?
You have to educate educate them in a school. If you are not educating them, you are just teaching them science, you are teaching them maths. You have to understand, make them understand what the humanity is. You have for that you have to include the spirituality, the Indian spirituality, which has to be included in the courses. Now, what is happening in India? The people are not being taught. They are being taught the moral education, but the spirituality, which actually make the people self-aware of the reality of the real things, they are not being taught. This is happening just because of that.
Acharya
People are not understanding. People are
I mean, as
just
I
looking
have
for the
said
worldly
earlier
things.
as well, it's not about one case. But look at Bhole Baba. Moments after he left, there was a stampede. What does he preach? He claims he preaches humanity. What does his followers call him? Their followers call him God.
Now, who told you he was not teaching the humanity? He was not teaching the spirituality.
I mean, this is what he claims. This is what his followers claim.
He can show the miracle. He was. The people, you can just analyze yourself what kind of people, education level people were going to his discourses. You himself.
So, do you think India is failing in ensuring regulation, and that is one critical problem? And if that is true, then why aren't political parties going ahead with this?
That is.
Why not regulate, and not one religion? Why not
political parties?
Why not regulate across religions?
They don't want to do that because they have to rule. Nobody is interested in the humanity. Everybody in the political regime are basically just interested in the powers. We have to make them. Now the media has to come in the main light, and they have to enlighten the people what is right and what is bad. If we are not going to teach the people what is
the
bad,
mandate on media is too much.
What is the reality about the spirituality is.
Acharya Vikramaditya ji very humbly put, the mandate on media is too much. I mean, you want us to come and even educate people. Anyway, let me go to the other panelists at this point. I think Godmen leaders, spiritual leaders must start with that. I mean, let's clean up our own home. You know, I mean, let the cops do what they're meant to do. Let the Godmen do what they're doing. Let the leaders do what the spiritual leaders.
So many good people are doing the good works. So many good people are doing the good work.
No, sir. I mean, I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. But so many good people did not raise this concern before, before the stampede happened. I'm sure so many good people were aware of all of this also. Nonetheless, that being one part. Can I just very quickly come in at this point? Yuvraj Pokharna, if I can come to you. Mr. Yuvraj Pokharna. No, allow me to go to other, allow me, sir, allow me. I spent considerable time with you. Allow me to go to the other panelists. They have not even spoken till now. Yuvraj Pokharna, Yogi Adityanath made references to what seemed to have been viral videos and viral stills of Akhilesh Yadav and Bhole Baba. But his own MLA, three-time MLA, has gone ahead and arranged for samagams for Bhole Baba. Ram Rahim Gurmeet has openly gone ahead and patronized BJP during the Lok Sabha elections in Haryana. Does mudslinging, political bickering, political fault-finding absolve chief ministers, governments and political leaders of the reality and the action that needs to be taken? Why isn't... You heard the... I'm not saying this. A journalist is not saying this. A former DGP is saying this, that Bhole Baba should be questioned. If required, should be named in the FIR. We are nowhere close to that, sir.
Sneha, for starters, my heart goes out to the departed souls and bereaved families. And second, when I view this problem in toto, I see three aspects to it. The first being the religious, second being political, and the third being administrative. And as you alluded to the fact that there are charlatans who are across faiths and religions, not just Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, Islamism or Christianity. So charlatans are pervasive everywhere. But coming to your question of political, so I have a very, very long list, starting from Rahul Gandhi's proximity to Asaram Bapu, to granting special tax freedom to even Baba Ramdev, Sonia Gandhi's visit to Satya Sai Ashram, Rahul Gandhi meeting Guru Nityanand ji, even Congress leadership, top leadership's proximity with Zakir Khan. And I remember Zakir Khan's foundation, IRF, which is now banned by UAPA Tribunal of Government of India, donating 50 lakhs to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation.
Sir,
So, cut
Yuvraj
the chase,
Pokharna ji.
I do not wish...
Yuvraj Pokharna ji.
Sneha, please extend the
Yuvraj
courtesy.
Pokharna
Please extend
ji.
the courtesy.
All the leaders that you named, all the leaders that you named are not from your party. And most importantly, all the leaders that you name are not known as bulldozer rajas or bulldozer justice or strong man or iron man or enablers and insurers of justice. Yogi Adityanath is known for his bulldozer justice.
Yes.
Why? Why not even, I mean, why? Okay, sure, political mudslinging is a fact. It will happen. But why, dhool jokna? Why do that? Why do that? Name the so-called self-proclaimed Godman. Say that he is on the run. Say that my police is doing everything to find him. Say that he is going to be questioned. Say it. Bulldozer justice. We are not even asking. I mean, that we don't support bulldozer justice. But a man who's known for his justice and bulldozer justice, at least, should mention this.
Sneha Koshy ji, let me put this on record. I'm not affiliated to any party. As you misconstrued me for being affiliated to any party. And yes, it was a complete failure of the LIU unit of the local dispensation. See, it was a complete failure of the local LIU, the local authorities. Yes, the police could have done a better job. And just to sum up, even I organize programs. There has to be permissions for each and everything that we do. And if I somewhere cross the limits, police has all the rights to hop in the program and to halt the program as and there. So it is a complete failure of law and order. BJP should own up to it. But just bear with me for 10 seconds. Bear with me for 10 seconds. Yogi Adityanath or BJP has not categorically supported this so-called Baba, whereas the Baba was seen hobnobbing with Akhilesh Yadav. And as I gave you a quick recap of the past, all the top leaders of the Congress were hobnobbing with some Baba or the other, unlike the BJP. So I cannot put the onus entirely on Yogi ji.
Okay.
Yes, the onus
I have a person exactly to answer your question. In fact, I have the same question to that person. So I will not lose any further time. Ghanshyam Tiwari, straight to you. Exactly what Yuvraj Pokharna has said is my question. And all the questions I asked Yuvraj Pokharna are again to you. Please respond. Political mudslinging will continue. Politics hai, votes chahiye. But where is the reality? I mean, name him, na? Tell him he should be questioned. He should be named in FIR, sir. Please go ahead. And this is happening. Uttar Pradesh mein, har jagah pe, bahar, everywhere, there are viral photographs. I mean, go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Sneha, to you, the fellow co-panelists and the viewers. There are three important things. More than 125 people are dead. Naming people in FIR does not happen on public demand. It is a matter that the state, it's not an anarchy. The state has to carry its responsibility.
True.
Chief Minister has been elected. So if the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary,
but opposition's
there,
I mean, I am not a person to do opposition bashing, sir. I mean, since you mentioned it, just one thing. I am not... Yes, I will give you extra time. Don't worry. I will just since you mentioned that line, sir. I am not a one to do opposition bashing. I am not one of those.
There's no room for bashing.
I ask pointed questions about the BJP. But I have to ask this. If the state is not doing what it's meant to do, the opposition is supposed to ask. Now, please go ahead. Go ahead. Please do.
The Chief Minister went there, the Deputy Chief Minister went there, the DGP, the Chief Secretary, several police officers went there. They did not even have the courage to mention his name or to say that they are investigating him, let alone trace him or question him. This is the expectation of the duty of the state that not only failed to learn that there were 3 times as many people as was permitted, and there was no light in the hospital, there were no adequate facilities, no rescue and relief, no ambulances in place. That's point number one. Point number two, the state is run by a Baba himself. Adityanath did not rise to power by writing IIT exam or doing social service. He rose to power by transforming his religious followership into political capital. So BJP has systematically built a Babadom in politics, which is at large. And in the face of that, they flash one attendance in one event and say that the Samajwadi Party is protecting somebody. No, you are built. The chief minister himself follows this political trajectory that several other Babas would like to imitate. Truly, to your point and other people's point that Babas are entering politics, and we are not championing that. It is the BJP that is championing that. My final point is that India is a country of spirituality and faith. You and I are allowed by the Constitution to follow our religion in our own way. So law cannot intervene how people are following their religion, but law must intervene when a crime happens. And when the crime happens, the crime is the responsibility of fixing the blame, charging the criminal is on the state. And the state must do its duty. And if Samajwadi Party or anybody said that we are here to protect the criminal, that's a...
Sir, opposition ka job kya hai? Opposition ka job kya hai, sir? What is the job of the opposition?
If you ask a generic question, then there is no end to it. The opposition has done its job by saying three things. One is that it is impossible that the state does not know that 250,000 people have congregated at a place with 50 plus policemen there, that the person is running away after the tragedy, and the state doesn't know. The largest police force in the world apparently does not know where this man is. It is impossible. The second point is it is impossible that the state can shrugs its responsibility of ensuring that there is doctor and nurses in the hospital when such a congregation is happening, or using the standard procedure in case of such congregation to enable ambulances and rescue and relief. Asking those questions is opposition's job.
Absolutely true.
Finding the criminals is the job of the state, and if the state doesn't find it, standing up with the people, the victim is our job.
Totally with you. One question. Why not ask, why not question, why not ask a simple question that why is the state government not questioning Bhole Baba?
We have asked that. We have said that why is the state, I can repeat the words that you said. There's not even a why. This is not optional. The state cannot escape the responsibility of not questioning Suraj Pal, Bhole Baba, Narayan Hari, whatever name he has. The state cannot escape that responsibility. There is no way to shrug that by pointing to a photograph
would you see
of Akhilesh
across
Yadav.
Political lines, all of these self-proclaimed Godmen are huge vote banks, even though political leaders know it very well that they don't have any affiliations, they are unregulated, their precedents are different whatsoever. You know, he was a former Uttar Pradesh constable. Is that a concern for you? Is that a concern?
As I said, that BJP has built their religious politics on the Babadom of none other than the Chief Minister himself. Okay. So let us see the reality as it is, rather than the picture of an ideal world.
Okay. Advocate Kapil Madan, you've been extremely patient. Thank you very much. Legally, how do you look at what's unfolding? There's political mudslinging. Politicians are fighting it out. But there is a strange, eerie silence around the central focus of what seems to be right now, and that is the self-proclaimed Godman. And then you have a police personnel, a senior police official say, उनकी कार की धूल को पकड़ने के लिए लोग भाग रहे थे. And then you have reporters who are saying he had an army that facilitated his exit first. What are we really looking at? Legally.
Now, Sneha, if there is a death, we all know it is a case where, several deaths has happened and because of negligence of the organizers. And in fact, Baba being the main and the prime person being there at that religious event, of course, yes, the negligence should be imputed to him also. And insofar as law is concerned, even though there is no requirement to name any specific individual in the FIR could have simply be two-liners to say that, at so-and-so event, Stampede happened, so many people died. But what the state needs to ensure, the police is a state subject. and there has to be free and fair and a quick investigation. The fact, till now, the Baba has not been, taken into custody. And for that matter, he is not even, called for questioning, or even if it is called for questioning, he's absconding. If he's absconding, whether the state has procured non-bailable warrants from the court, etc., or not, speaks volume of, how the state is going ahead with the investigation. Now, in a case like this, where,
But Advocate Kapil Madan, and let me just come back to the heart of what we're discussing as well. From what BJP claims to be Congress's close associations with Asaram Bapu, to what seems to be BJP's or Ram Rahim's open endorsements of the BJP, or what seems to be emerging currently in Bhole Baba's cases, has politics, nexus, vote bank, faith completely derailed legal processes as well as criminal proceedings which should be initiated by the cops just because of political patronage across party lines in India?
I think, Sneha, I should be fair enough to admit, yes, this exists. I mean, you can't rule out the political, nexus with these Babas. I'll just give you an example. Ram Rahim, if you just Google how many times he have, obtained parole while, serving his sentence. In fact, the Honorable High Court has to take a judicial notice of the fact that you are being, given, payroll to Baba left, right, and center, and there are other inmates also who don't get that kind of a treatment. So why do you give special treatment to one person just because he happens to be an influencer? Just because he can tilt vote in one particular direction? Of course, yes, I have no qualms in admitting that there exists political nexus with this Baba, which enables them to do whatever they are doing. And if you just do a basic search on the kind of crimes Ram Rahim has been convicted of, I mean, this is beyond imagination. I mean,
Not
castration
just
of
Ram Rahim, even Asaram Bapu. And I'm
Yes.
mentioning that because of the different political alliances that seem to be with
Yes.
these Babas. So it's not just one political party. Let's just face it outright. Vote banks is critical. But I'm totally out of time, Kapil Madan. Last 30 seconds to you before I
All
go
I
to
would
PK Jain for his
Yes.
last remarks.
Yes, yeah. All I would say is that the state should act in a fair and a completely transparent manner. There should be an inquiry, investigation without any kind of fear or favor to any individual, and whomsoever was
Okay.
responsible
All right.
needs to be booked.
Okay. Okay, PK Jain, my last question to you, sir. And we saw the deaths happen. We saw the crime. In fact, in this particular case, he's not been named. He's not been asked for questioning. Nothing at this point. What we are being told by police, he's on the run. There are other netas, there are other babas who have been questioned, who have been convicted of crimes. But do you think anything will change in India after this as well? Besides the political mudslinging that may last for some time, come another election, nothing will change. That's what I think. Do you think anything will change?
Sneha, nothing will change. As long as these people have a sway over their followers and they can make them vote in a particular direction, these things will continue the way they are. All political parties are to blame for this. It is not a particular political party. See, the other day somebody asked a question from Mr. Akhilesh Yadav whether he would like to name the Baba or whether he would like the Baba to be arrested. He said which Baba? He referred to Baba Yoginath and as well as Baba this Baba, this Sakar Baba. So question is that no political party wants to antagonize them. They want to get their votes. They want to get the votes of their followers. So this will continue the way it is. Now, in this particular case, even though Baba was not named in the FIR, after he is questioned, if the police or the investigating officer feels fit, this fellow can still be added as an accused. So the process of law and investigation will take its own course, provided it is allowed to take its own course,
Well,
and provided
that's
the
a
court
very
intervene
long
at the
call,
right time.
PK Jain. That's a very, very long call. And you would agree with me, for that to happen, there are several roadblocks, to say the least,
Absolutely.
that have to be
Absolutely.
crossed. And at this
Absolutely.
point, it looks absolutely impossible. And as our promises, the mirror is really on us, because whatever has unfolded is our responsibility as well. Yuvraj Pokharna, Acharya Vikramaditya, Ghanshyam Tiwari, Advocate Kapil Madan, PK Jain, thank you very much for joining us. And if the political ruling class is watching this, let's act before it's too late. Votes will come nonetheless. Time for a very short break on the